What's up, y'all? I'm out here on the range on a beautiful sunny day. Temperature was actually in the 40s when I first got out here this morning. It's supposed to hit right around 80, so it should be a fantastic day to have some fun out here. And that's exactly what I'm going to do with my brand new A-Team rifle, the Ruger Mini 14 GB re-release. I pity the fool who gets in the way of that right there. All right, y'all, let's take a look at this cool little thing. Again, what you're looking at here is the Ruger Mini 14. Specifically, you're looking at the re-released GB model. Now, the GB model stands for government barrel, which the difference there is you got the flash hider and then the bayonet lug up underneath the barrel. Now, I've had this thing for several months now, so it's not real new, but it hadn't been out long. The original story with this thing, y'all know Ruger Mini 14s were released back in the 70s, I think, originally. During the 80s, they released this GB model, and it was only available at first to government, law enforcement, stuff like that, so not to the general public. Now, a little bit later, they did start releasing them to the general public, but from my understanding, they started out with 5-round mags at the time and may not have had the lug or the hider, one of those. This right here now has got the 20-round mags on it, nice nickel Teflon mags. But the main reason I wanted it is because it's the main rifle from the A-Team TV show. If y'all have watched the A-Team, I'm sure y'all recognize this. Some of y'all probably already know. Y'all know me. I'm a huge fan with pop culture guns. If it was in some kind of cool movie, video game, especially in the 80s, 90s, I'm all about it. So that's definitely the main reason I grabbed this thing. I had wanted to grab a little Mini 14 just because I didn't have one, just to check them out, but there were really nothing special, nothing kind of stood out. But when they re-released this thing, I was all over it. So we'll go over it real quick from front to back. Again, you've got an 18-inch cold hammer forged barrel. It's got a 1 9" twist on it. Now it is stainless steel barrel, receiver, and your folder back here. It's a really nice, got like a hammered look. I don't know how well it's going to come through in the camera, like a hammered or stone washed kind of look. I think it looks very sharp. So 18-inch barrel. Again, it's got the flash hider. You got your hooded front blade there with the bayonet lug under the bottom. It'll fit a standard M7 bayonet. You got a nice walnut fore-end here up underneath. Now it's polymer, black polymer on the top up there. Flipping around to the other side right quick, you got you some sling swivels, one on the front there, and then another one here on the back. Now some of y'all can probably tell the outward appearance of this thing is based on a scaled down M14 look. As far as the action, it's basically like a kind of a mini Garand up in this receiver area. You can see you got your rotating bolt there, so really cool, like a mini Garand. Now the gas system on it, you do have a piston gas system. It's the fixed piston up here, so it kind of comes down, the piston sets right here, and the piston stays where it's at, and then your action moves back and forth down there in the receiver. Obviously, as you saw, your charging handle there. Now this one is different from the original GB models, I'm pretty sure, in that it's already fitted for the Ruger style scope rings, and it's drilled and tapped on the top. I don't think the original GB models were. And speaking of that, they did include a pick rail section to put on the top there, and a nice set of stainless Ruger mounted Ruger style rings. Rear side, as you can see, is a hooded ghost ring. It is adjustable for windage and elevation. This right here is the lock and lug for your folder. I'll show you that here in a second. Again, it comes with 2 really nice nickel Teflon mags. They definitely get some fingerprints though. These you kind of rock in like an AK. Back around to the other side here, you got a Garand style safety, so it's pretty cool. It's like a mixture of, as far as appearance, of an M14, and a lot of the action is very reminiscent of a Garand, so I think this is a really cool little tool. And then back around to the other side one more time. As far as your folder, this part here folds up. You'll see why in a second. And then your button right here is your release for your fold. So you fold it like that. There's a little hole you can see in the stock. That kind of fits just barely over that. And then you click this little piece right here to fold the bottom down, and you'll see it's got ears that locks right into that lug, so nice and locked in, and there you go, folded up. And then I guess the last thing really to mention on it is the trigger. I mean, it's nothing phenomenal at all. It's not bad. It feels about like an AR, if you can see there. A little bit of take up, pretty much like a standard AR. Brake actually feels a little bit lighter than an AR, maybe 4 pounds. reset, nice audible, just a tiny bit of creep back on the wall. And that might be 3.5, 4 pounds, so not bad on the trigger at all. But I think that just about covers what I wanted to talk about with this thing. Today I'm just gonna run it for function, kind of get it sighted in. Now I will say I pretty much already got it sighted in. I'm gonna show y'all what the grouping is. I have heard that Mini 14s just are inherently not really that accurate, but I'm gonna tell you right now, even with my wobbling and my shakiness out here, it's pretty tight right now where I've got it set. So let's get on back over there and see what this thing can do. All right, let's see if we can ring us some steel down there. I've got 15 rounds loaded up of this PMC X-Tac, just the 55 grain 193 stuff. This thing really seems to like these X-Tacs. Again, when I was grouping it, I was just at right around 30 yards, but I mean, it was stacked on top of each other. So makes sense being a 1-9 twist. Right now, I'm just gonna send 5 rounds on each of those targets out there. The green one is at 50, the pink one's at 75, and then the orange ones out there are at 100. Now, I don't have any kind of mark posted on them down there, so I'm just gonna send one kind of towards the middle, and then I'll use my mark for my reference point. Let's see where I can find my mark. I don't even see my mark. All right, right in the center. I mean, that thing's right in the center. Let's get another one. I feel like I pulled that a little bit. Maybe not. How many was that, 4? I think that was 5. I think that was pretty good. I feel like I was a little bit wobbly on that, but I think that should be pretty good down there. Let's go to the 75. No idea where that's at. Let me take a look. Sure, that one's a little bit towards the bottom, so let me raise up just a little bit. I don't feel real great about those as far as my elevation. Of course, that ain't looking too bad after I dropped that one either. Those other ones don't look bad at all. So let's move it on out to the 100. Now, I can't even see that. I can barely see that target. I'm just gonna hold for the center of the orange blob down there. I pulled that so bad, y'all. I never should have squeezed that one. That was foolish. All right, that was all of them, and I know that one missed because I wasn't even nowhere close to the target. Other than that, I think this thing's doing really nice out there. All right, y'all, I ain't a bit mad at them groups right there for iron sights. First time out with this thing off the old wobbly bag, I ain't complaining a bit. Now, I did notice all of them seem to be favored a little bit to the right, so I did move this thing just a little bit to the left. It's really tricky with this because it's one of them deals where you loosen a set screw on one side and then tighten it on the other, and the sight just kind of slides in that channel. But let's see if that little bit of adjustment did us any good on a boom boom down there. That right there was rowdy enough to have BA running for a plane. All right, this time I've got us 3 rounds of these PSA Saber Blade 55 grainers. This should be some pretty good stuff right here. I got a couple of 2 liters and a can of shaving cream down here close. Let's see what happens. I gotta set our shaving cream back up. All right, let's finish it off. Not bad at all. All right, let's do the same thing at 30 yards, and this time with the Federal Champion Jacketed Soft Point 55 grain. I had to put me some orange paint on it so I could see the things down there. I couldn't hardly even see them, but hopefully I can hit them down there. Good enough. All right, all three of those were nice clean hits. It just wasn't near as exciting as this Saber blade was for sure. So I got us another round of this Saber blade and got us a spicy shaving cream up here now. It's a little old tiny one, so hopefully I can manage to get it. I didn't get no boom, but it was a nice one anyway. All right, y'all, I switched us back over to the high octane boom booms for one last finale. I love it when a plan comes together. All right, y'all, I'm gonna call it right there for what was a heck of a fun time with this Ruger Mini 14. As you saw, it ran absolutely flawless with a few different types of rounds out here. I really didn't expect nothing less. I was actually on the fence on whether or not I was gonna put an optic on this thing, and it might sound kind of weird, but I probably will now because it's so accurate and I know what it's capable of. I think with an optic on this thing, I could get even better results out of it. So pop culture aside, I am really glad I finally picked one of these up. But let me know what y'all think about it down in the comments. Do any of y'all out there have a Mini 14? I'm sure some of y'all do. What kind do you have? Do any of y'all actually have one of these GB re-releases? Do you have like a clone of one that you made or got that somebody made out of like a rancher? Let me know down in the comments what you got and what your thoughts are. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you reach down and hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, and make sure you've got those notifications turned on so you get notified when I upload stuff. Take a second if you would and check out those affiliate links in the video description. Anything you get after hitting those links up, I get a kickback from them towards the channel, so I really appreciate that. Big old thanks as always to all my Range Gang members and every single one of y'all for supporting the channel the way y'all do. I've got some really good stuff headed y'all's way, so stay on the lookout for that. And in the meantime, stay safe, stay prepared, and I'll see you soon.